Welcome to Wesley Impact. This is the television program of Wesley Mission, where you're invited to see various aspects of our work firsthand. Today I'll continue in my message series, filmed earlier this year, as I continue to share my thoughts on the importance of prophetic witness and prophetic speech in the pursuit of justice, drawing on examples from one of my predecessors, Reverend Alan Walker. I'm looking forward to that a little later on. Now, the Christian faith is foundational to all that we do at Wesley Mission. The message of Jesus is our guiding light and the motivation for all our work. We are a word and deed ministry and have always had ministers and pastors leading all that we do. We're also fortunate to have a team of dedicated chaplains who help to carry the spiritual and emotional care for our staff, our clients, our volunteers and our friends. Our chaplains play a unique role at Wesley Mission, and to tell us more, I'm joined by one of our chaplains, Jo Garratt. Welcome, Jo. It's great to have you here. Chaplaincy has always been an important part of the Wesley Mission story, but not everyone understands the role of a chaplain. What is a chaplain?
Look, literally, I see a chaplain at Wesley Mission as someone that just can come alongside of staff and clients in whatever space they need us to be. So obviously all our chaplains have a strong Christian faith. That's the ethos of who we are. We're a Christian organisation. And sometimes people think, oh, if I don't have a strong Christian faith, I could never relate to a chaplain. But that's so far from the truth. Our chaplains are there in the trenches of life with people, with clients. Pretty much, I say to our team, we're here to serve the staff and clients of Wesley Mission. And pretty much the staff and clients work out what that looks like for us. We don't have an agenda where we say we only do this, this, this. We're here to come alongside with whatever that looks like. That could be like, sitting with a foster carer family, one of our amazing volunteers who cares for children in care, sitting with them when maybe they're having some struggles around the child that's in their care at the moment. It could be sitting with a staff member who's maybe lost a loved one. So pretty much a chaplain at Wesley Mission is here to be the hands and feet of Jesus with whatever that looks like.
Now Wesley Mission, we've got 2,400 staff, more than 60 sites, New South Wales, Sydney, around Australia. Where do our chaplains work?
Our chaplains are pretty much based everywhere. Everywhere there's a program, our chaplains are there. Most of our chaplains look after multi-sites, so they may be in maybe 3 or 4 different programs, facilities, that kind of thing. So pretty much every day a chaplain's somewhere different. We don't have a home base, and that's intentional for all our chaplains, and that's if we had a home base, we'd never get out of there. So pretty much we work with the managers and the staff of where we go each day.
And how many chaplains do we have?
We have 14 chaplains.
Wow.
Some are full-time, some are part-time. And they're an incredible, passionate bunch of people who are here just to serve.
How is that provided differently across the various aspects of our work? I mean, we've got people in aged care settings, we have kids in out-of-school care settings and everything in between. All the different generations, different demographics, different places of our nation. How does it look different?
So pretty much, if you're going to like an aged care facility, the chaplains are very much there one-on-one, visiting clients, building relationship with clients, very client-based. They're also there supporting staff. When you've got something, they're there physically, a physical presence. When you're looking at, say, our USH programs, pretty much the chaplain there, his name's Sam, and he's building relationship with the staff and building relationship with the families that utilise that service. So as say at USH, it's a service that we provide for families that would like support with us. There's newsletters going out, and we're finding, especially in this season right now, that a lot of our families that utilise our USH program, they're hurting. And so they're reaching out to our chaplain through phone calls, through emails, that kind of a thing. And I think that's the beauty of chaplaincy. We get to be the hands and feet of Jesus with whatever that looks like at that time.
That's awesome. I mean, so many people, 160,000 people we serve in a typical year. I mean, 14 chaplains. How do you cover all those bases?
We don't sleep. No, we do sleep. Pretty much we cover it because we work very closely with our frontline staff. And so our frontline staff, I guess, would almost triage the need that comes to us. So, the most crucial at that point in time, they would call us and we'd go there immediately to that particular client or that particular need. And we just get really creative. So we do newsletters, we do emails, we do all kinds of things. We work really hard to be part of the mission that's known and not strangers. That's the biggest heartbeat that I do with our team is let's be known. Yeah. Let's be known amongst our teams. Let's be known amongst our staff. So we'll do stuff like we'll pop in at team meetings. We'll bring a devotion. If we're in an office, we'll sit down and have lunch with the staff. Like, we do everything we can to build that relationship with staff. And then through that, if staff trust us, then they'll trust us with the clients as well.
Fantastic. And you're involved also, of course, at key moments in people's lives. You're conducting funeral services. You said you've been leading devotions, Bible studies. There's a whole range of different things that you're doing. You want to share a bit about that?
The heart of chaplaincy is that we'll do whatever it takes to be with people, with whatever that looks like. So, you know, often I will have a day planned. I'll plan that I'm going to do a devotion, a team meeting, then I may be going to go and spend some time with a staff member. One phone call can change my whole day.
Yeah.
And we very much are on the premise of we'll always, if we're going to like something with a lot of people versus there's a need for an individual, we will always go to the individual. That's our priority. So, you know, a crisis can't wait. Popping in at a team meeting, that's really important. If someone's suddenly lost a loved one, or we've had a client who's really unwell or whatever, we will always go to the individual over the crowd. And I guess it's very much like Jesus. Jesus always, he was with the masses, but he was with the individual.
Now, you would experience a lot of joys, but also a lot of sorrows. You want to share a bit about the breadth of emotion that you can experience in this role?
I think being a chaplain is the greatest honour and privilege and the best role at Wesley Mission. I can't think of a better role because we're with the highs, with the lows. Like, we'll get invited to celebratory lunches when we've had something great happen. But then we can go from that setting to then you get a phone call where someone's just passed away or a young child's been rushed to hospital. So in one day you can be in the highest of highs and you can be in the lowest of lows.
And we're so pleased that you lead this whole ministry for us, the 14 chaplains that make up this team. Jo, I want to pause right there, and we're going to come back in a little while and we're going to talk more about your journey to becoming a chaplain here at Wesley Mission and the new field-based approach that we're taking to this incredibly important ministry across our organisation. With that, I'll see you in just a moment.
If you would like to learn more about Wesley Mission, visit wesleymission.org.au. You can find help in our community services, connect with our church and congregations, discover a volunteer role that suits you, stay up to date on the latest news and information, donate to support our work, and help make a positive difference in your community. You can also connect with us on social media and subscribe to receive the latest news and information about Wesley Mission directly into your inbox. Visit wesleymission.org.au.
Our website has all the information you'll need to connect with any area of our work, to stay up to date with the latest news and information from Wesley Mission, and to contact us if we can be of help to you, a family member or a friend in any way. I'm speaking today with a member of our chaplaincy team, in fact, the leader of our chaplaincy team, Jo Garratt. Jo, you've been with Wesley Mission for a number of years. Where did it all start for you, this journey?
Prior to coming to Wesley Mission, I was a pastor in a local church, loved it, was on staff for a really long time, and just got to a place where I felt like I wanted to change. And so I always have loved people. So from a really young age, I've always loved people. It's what I've wanted to do, lay my life down for people. So I got to a point where I felt my time in my local church on staff was coming to an end. So I thought, what can I do that can make a difference? And a friend of mine worked at Wesley Mission. And she said, have you ever thought about Wesley Mission? I said, I don't really know much about them. So I kind of found out. Then I applied for a role as a case manager in out-of-home care. I absolutely loved it. I loved coming alongside of people, but at the same time, I missed the ministry side of what I had always done my whole working life. And I saw a role actually get advertised internally for a chaplain. But the funny thing was, it was advertised in Gosford and I lived in Sydney, so I never applied for it. And I remember having a conversation with someone one time saying that there was a chaplaincy role in his area that was based in Gosford. And it came back down the line to me going, no, it can be anywhere. So I thought, that's me, because that's working in the community, it's using my pastoral skills, everything I would love to do. So long story short, I applied for that role and I got offered it. And the area that was my portfolio was everything related to families and children, which has always been my passion, it's what I love. So I started serving there and loving it. And then beginning of COVID, phone call was made just sort of saying, look, would you consider taking on the chaplaincy team? And it's funny because prior to being offered the role, I felt like it was going to happen. It was almost like God had prepared my heart.
Yeah.
So my answer was yes. And I love it. I love leading this team because everyone on our team is passionate about Jesus. We're all very unique. We're all very diverse. You've got the extroverts, probably like myself, and then you've got the quieter achievers who are just beautiful. And in a team, you need everything. You can't have 14 extroverts. You need people skilled in different areas.
Absolutely.
And so we've got that. So that's kind of my journey of how I came here.
Yeah.
And I love it. I love that no day's the same. I love that we are the hands and feet of Jesus. And I love that Wesley Mission is a Christian organisation. It's been birthed out of Jesus, been birthed out of a local church. And I feel that our role as chaplains is to bring that back into the centre of what we do.
Yeah. So, local church pastor, leading a chaplaincy team, in between working in out-of-home care as a case manager. How important was that season in preparing you to understand the ethos and how a community services organisation, but also a church, how, the difference with what your local church experience had been?
Look, I think if I hadn't been a minister in a local church and I hadn't done out-of-home care, I couldn't do this role. I feel like Wesley Mission is so unique. We are a local church.
Yeah, we are.
But we have a real community focus. And I think having been able to work in both those fields prior to taking on this role has given me an understanding of how a local church runs, but also how community services run out of a church. And I think working as a case manager at Wesley Mission before I started this role, it gives me an understanding. And when I can sit with a case manager going through maybe, how do I do this, Jo? And I'm not quite sure. I can actually go, I've been there.
Yeah.
I actually have been there. I can understand. So I think it gives empathy. And I think being part of a local church and now part of a local church with a very community focus, I can wear both hats.
Yeah. So what's been most challenging about the role?
I think most challenging about the role is I started it in the middle of COVID. So I started it basically May last year. So I started running this team when we couldn't meet face to face, when we couldn't go into offices, when we couldn't do all this stuff. So I found that really, really challenging. And I feel like the team was awesome, but we hadn't really done much as a team. So trying to gather everyone was quite difficult.
Herding cats?
Yeah, literally, because everyone was passionate about their thing, but we'd never really worked as a team per se. We'd all been, silo in our areas, and everyone was doing amazing at that. But my heart with this, and I know Rick's heart with this, was to bring us together as a team. So that's probably been a challenge, but now it's awesome because I feel like we are really connected as a team. I feel like everyone on the team has got certain strengths that others don't have. And then I feel if we look at us as, individual chaplains, we've all got weaknesses and we've all got strengths. When I look at us as a team, I think there's nothing our team can't do.
I love that. It's the beauty of a team when you come together and you have those complementary gifts.
Yeah.
What's been the most rewarding thing? Perhaps tell us a story that sticks out for you.
I think the most rewarding thing is seeing how coming alongside of someone actually makes a really big difference. I can even think of a story over the last fortnight where, I received an email quite late at night from one of our operations manager who is amazing, and just saying, look, we've had a particular COVID case that's happened, and there's some people that need to be contacted daily just to make sure that they're okay because they may end up in isolation. And so I was like, this is an amazing opportunity for us, a chaplaincy team. Like the frontline workers don't necessarily have the time to sit on a phone for an hour and hear someone's story. So we saw that as what an amazing opportunity. So as a chaplaincy team, we all started calling these particular clients, and we've been doing that daily for the last 10 days. And the feedback we've had from the clients is amazing. Like, they look forward to the phone call from the chaplain. And I think that's a particular area that could be really hard, really challenging for those clients. But being able to come alongside of them and do that journey with them and see them coming through the other side is actually beautiful. So
we're developing a new field-based approach to chaplaincy. What's that all about?
So pretty much what we want to try and do is to, there's only 14 chaplains. There's 2,500 staff and so many clients. So what we're trying to do is we really want to link our chaplaincy in with local churches as well. Like allow local churches to get involved in what we're doing. I think the beautiful thing that Wesley Mission is known for, our local church, Wesley Mission is known for, is we have a community footprint. And I think a lot of local churches would love that community footprint, but they actually don't have that yet. What we'd love to see is our chaplains building relationships with local churches to allow their local mission to be with our clientele. and to be raising people up from other churches to come alongside, support people in really vulnerable situations.
So what would volunteer chaplains do?
Pretty much what volunteer chaplains would do is they would work alongside of our team. So say if we were in regional New South Wales, for example, and maybe there is a child that's really suffering, that maybe needs some mentoring, we could grab a chaplain, a volunteer chaplain, to come and help with that child, help them through schooling, help them just being an extra person in their world.
If someone's listening to our conversation today and felt the tug on their heart to be involved in chaplaincy ministry with Wesley Mission or with another organisation like us, what would you say to them?
Please do it. Get in contact with us. Give Wesley Mission a call. Get in contact with me, because we would love to help you serve in a chaplaincy field, because the need is so great and we'll never ever run out of need, but we do run out of actually having the hands to help with that need. So there's always a need. So please, if that's something that you feel called to do, please do it. Be confident. And I think sometimes we think, I don't have this skill set, therefore I'm no good. But you know what? A heart that wants to help others, and a heart that's teachable, and a heart that loves Jesus, that can be moulded and worked with, and you become the most amazing chaplain. That's
a pretty powerful invitation, Jo. I mean, why do you do what you do? I mean, this is a role that has enormous highs, enormous lows, very demanding. Why do what you do?
I do what I do because from a really young age, I can think of even the age of 5 or 6, I was brought up in a Christian home with parents that always built the local church. I remember seeing what my parents did, and always in my heart I thought, I want to make a difference for others. And I want to give people an opportunity to find Jesus, ultimately, through the love of what we do. And I really feel like coming alongside of someone is the greatest joy and the greatest privilege. And there is highs and there is lows, but lows don't always stay low. And the thing that I love about chaplaincy is you can be in that lowest point with someone, and you can do it. It's not an instant fix, but if you do a journey with someone, you do see them come through that low and turn it into a high.
Fantastic. Jo, thanks so much for all that you do. All that your team does is so much a part of the fabric of who Wesley Mission is today and will be into the future. And God bless you and your future endeavours, particularly with this new approach to chaplaincy that you're embarking upon. I'll be back with you in just a moment.
I think people are amazing. We can turn dark to light. We can fly through storms. We can change worlds, but we can't always do it alone. If you need help, we could work together. Find out more at wesleymission.org.au. We are here for you.
Get in touch with us if Wesley Mission can help you, a friend or a family member in any way. We are here for you. Over the past few weeks, I've talked about a sharp mind that is focused on working for and achieving justice. It's a mind that's prepared to engage in prophetic witness. And today, I'd like to also talk about prophetic speech. One of the best examples of prophetic speech in Australia, without a doubt, is the work of Alan Walker.
Alan Walker was a dynamic evangelist. He was a gifted pastor. He was a world-class leader, and he was a fearless prophet. He was always getting in trouble. He was getting in trouble with religious leaders, political leaders, business leaders. He was getting in trouble with leaders here at Wesley Mission all the time. He said, a society in which human beings are subject to oppressive economic, social, or political conditions which deprive them of ordinary rights is not a just society, and therefore not at peace. Without justice, we shall have no peace. Historians argue compellingly that Alan Walker's fierce opposition to the introduction of casinos and pokies delayed their arrival here in New South Wales for years, although even in the end he couldn't stand against it. New South Wales premiers would consider, they would ask advisors, before they made a decision on a contentious issue, they would ask their advisors, what's Alan Walker's view on this one? Such was his influence. Federal politicians believe he was instrumental in changing Australia's view around Vietnam and conscription. Here in the Lyceum Theatre, which used to stand here under his leadership, here in this place, right where we seated and stand today, there were regular protest meetings and debates around the political issues of the day, right here. Bill Hayden, the ex-Labor politician and Governor General, famously referred to Alan Walker as the conscience of the nation. And here's the thing about Sir Alan. His prophetic speech, it wasn't just political rhetoric, it was biblically based and founded. He had a high view of Scripture, and it was because of his high view of Scripture, he knew that he had to apply it to everyday issues confronting Australians. He had the same view that Archbishop Desmond Tutu has, that the Bible is a revolutionary document. Tutu says, there's nothing more radical, nothing more revolutionary, nothing more subversive against injustice and oppression than the Bible. If you want to keep people subjugated, the last thing you place in their hands is a Bible. My friends at Wesley Mission, this is our story. This is our history. This is who we are. This is our legacy, the legacy God is calling us to extend with open hands. With biblical fidelity and faith, God is calling us, requiring us to speak when, where, and however, and to whomever God's call when we see injustice. Now, right now in Wesley Mission, we're finalising the priorities around which we will base our advocacy work in the coming season. And there are a lot of issues we could tackle, and we will address many of them, but we want to focus our attention on just a handful that we might move the dial, that we might bring real transformative change as we partner with others. And some of the options are around the housing crisis or mental health, but one that's right near the top of the list is gambling reform. So here in Australia, we suffer the largest per capita gambling losses in the world. We spend more, we waste more on gambling as Australians than we do on alcohol, cigarettes, and illegal drugs combined. $25 billion a year. Australia is home to 76% of the world's pokie machines. 76% of world's pokie machines are here in Australia, and half of those are here in New South Wales. That is 38% of all poker machines in the world are in our state. That is awful. It is awful. New South Wales gaming rooms are open up to 18 hours a day, and every single day here in New South Wales, our neighbours lose $19 million on those evil machines. Don't get me started on sports betting and the incessant advertising that saturates our television, our social media, and every channel available. Gambling addiction causes untold suffering. It is oppressive, and our frontline staff hear story after story after story. They're always walking the road from Jerusalem to Jericho, and they're seeing people again and again and again lying in the ditch of gambling addiction. It's time. It's time, and it's always been time for us to move one step beyond compassion to addressing the injustice that leads to such suffering.
I'd like to revisit the words of Desmond Tutu. There's nothing more radical, nothing more revolutionary, nothing more subversive against injustice and oppression than the Bible. If you want to keep people subjugated, the last thing you place in their hands is a Bible. Here at Wesley Mission, we would love you to engage with God in a real and practical way that is relevant and meaningful to you. And we'd love to give you a Bible. We believe that God's love is available to all people, that the compassion God has for all people is a catalyst to bring about justice for all. If you have any questions about the Christian faith, would like to receive a free copy of the Bible, please don't hesitate to be in touch. My contact details are on the screen now. I will continue in this series again next week, looking at prophetic action and the work of people like Dietrich Bonhoeffer and Martin Luther King Jr. I'll be back in just a moment.
At Wesley Mission, we see kindness change kids' worlds. You can find out more at wesleymission.org.au. We are here for you.
I hope you enjoyed the conversation with Jo Garratt earlier today, one of our chaplains here at Wesley Mission. As Jo said at the end of our conversation, if you'd like to learn more about what is involved in our volunteer chaplaincy work at Wesley Mission, please don't hesitate to be in touch. Also, use the same contact details if we can be of help to you, a friend or a family member in any way. As always, I'm looking forward to seeing you again next week on Wesley Impact. Every blessing to you and those you love.
Wesley Mission walks alongside people of all ages struggling with homelessness, addictions, mental health issues and financial stress. To find out more, visit wesleymission.org.au.